Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unscripted, the series where I, Krooked, take an unscripted look at games and give them a 1 through 10 rating. Today, we are continuing our look at Star Wars games with Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. With Star Wars, Super Star Wars, New Hope, I couldn't give it higher than a 6.5 because the game is incredibly hard. And, well, this is going to be similar in a lot of ways because the games were made in succession and basically popped one out after another. In terms of presentation differences, this one's already way more advanced. There's cutscenes, there's a lot more story happening. It's really, really cool. And to start it off, you get a lightsaber from the get-go! Why would you not immediately fall in love with this game? Just because you start with a lightsaber and there's... Other than, that, you get a double jump. So, just starting off from the last game, you get the fan service Luke with a lightsaber. You get the double jump, which gives you more accessibility. And, continuing from the last game, it's pretty accurate in the sense of, well, we're on Hoth. We just got on Tauntaun. And there's more cutscenes involved. Tells you a little bit more about the story. In a lot of ways, they took the feedback from the first game and said, hey, let's do this better than we have. Health sword. There's like power-ups. It's kind of arcadey. And it's... sound is still so good. I'm gonna die on this Tauntaun really quickly. I don't think I can change. Okay. At some point, I can change between having a lightsaber and a blaster, but I can't right now. I do have a thermal detonator, though. They apparently have a time limit, and you want to use them as quickly as possible, but yeah. Basically, just double jumping through this, Luke can kill basically everything. You can drop down through floors. The presentation on this game is great. The only problem is there's a lot of instant death. So, all the pluses that they implemented for this over A New Hope, they basically said, yeah, guess what? We're going to implement a lot of instant death areas where you just flat out die. Good luck, Luke Skywalker. And that sucks because, again, I just died again from an instant death. And that makes it a lot more difficult. But there's also checkpoints in this game that the last game didn't have. So dying isn't as big of a deal, but it still sucks and you don't want to do it because duh. And having those instant death points are kind of like what people call Nintendo hard, where a game is hard to the degree of only Nintendo can get away with it because it's Nintendo. And that's kind of what these deaths are. Because again, I jumped. I did jump. And I can't do anything. I'm just dead. Just dead. Can't do anything. I did switch my blaster, though, so there is a way to do that. Can I do that here? Maybe? Okay, so you just hit A to switch to your blaster. And I actually think it's easier to get through things with the Tauntaun having a blaster equipped. I say that and then I die, but it's okay. So sound it just like Super Star Wars sounds perfect. It sounds exactly how it should. There's lightsaber sounds, there's blaster sounds, there's just good sound in this game. The enemies still have the problem of not making sounds when they're hit, but there's more visual indicators on there, so it did improve that from the last game as well. It seems like there's less sounds from the enemies themselves, though, and that does do a little bit of damage to the score for it. But at the same time, you know, they implemented a bunch of other things like Fader saying impressive, and they improved on some things while making some other things worse, and that happens a lot, more often in games than people think. Okay, so I was trying not to die, but it's okay. So, with this, there's not a whole bunch more to say about this that I didn't say in the review for A New Hope. It's a great game if you're a Star Wars fan. Honestly, you can skip Super Star Wars and just come straight to this because, well, this is a better game. In terms of a score, it's really easy to give this one a 8 out of 10 because other than the incredibly hard difficulty that it does have, this one I feel is beatable. You just have to practice a little bit, know where these stupid jumps are, and be able to get through that. But it gives you more options. You can actually regain health with your lightsaber. You get thermal detonators. You get multiple weapons. Later on, you get to play as multiple characters. You get to select different characters. Once again, you can follow You Can Beat Video Games guides, and it'll get you through it a lot easier. But this game is an 8. It is a good game. It has a lot of merits, even for the flaws that it has, and it's a fun time. Just playing it, you don't really want to quit. You want to keep going. You want to get better. You want to get past the next level every single time. And I think that's part of what makes a really good game, is if no matter how difficult it seems or how difficult it gets, you still want to play it and get through it because you want that challenge. You want to get better at the game. That's what drives Souls games. That's what drives like Devil May Cry and Neo. Is you want the story, you want to get through it, you want to test your abilities, and you want to get to the end and say, I conquered it, even if it means that you're going to be dying through falls like this. So, with that 8 out of 10, go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed what you saw. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you never miss a new Unscripted. You can also sign up for my Patreon, so that way you can get some love in the end credits as well as some early episodes. And with all of that said, I will see you on the next Unscripted. Bye.